66. I work as a volunteer at a food bank and a charity shop. We have a cafe and a social supermarket, so I help out in the cafe side, doing a bit of washing up, and I do get a bit of free food, but I can go and shop in other days. I have the fibromyalgia and the osteoporosis, which causes a lot of pain. After my rent and my bills are paid, I have about £20 a week to live off. I used to put my electric blanket on every night, and there's no way I can afford to do that anymore. My biggest concern is the cost of living and the energy prices going up so much. It's going to be a case of, you know, just go to bed early so you're not putting your heating on, and maybe even through the day is just travel around on the buses to keep warm.
Veronica, thank you for talking to us. And Martin has some answers, some suggestions. Martin, Veronica's question is specifically about the electricity costs in her area. She says that her electricity charge has gone up 102%, which seems absolutely remarkable. Why is this happening?
Where is she? She in sort of Mersey, I'm guessing, or North Wales, somewhere around there. I mean, is it Merseyside? Oh, it said Merseyside. Yeah. Well, yes, OK. Because it did. You want an answer? Look, that is the April price cap rise, in which the standing charges on electricity went up hugely, and they vary by region. The lowest went up 30%. The highest was in the Mersey and North Wales area, up 102%. Now, look, I and many others, I think the boss of OVO's on later, he and I were in a joint campaign to get rid of the standing charge. As in all my other campaigns with Ofgem, it hasn't happened. The standing charge means you pay a daily amount for gas and a daily amount for electricity, even if you don't use it. From October, if you have a gas and electricity meter on direct debit, you're paying £273 a year, even if you use no energy, which is a moral hazard, because it means if you try and cut your energy costs, well, the lower you go down, the less of an impact using less energy has for you. Yeah. The answer to why they've put it on the electricity bills, or they did in April, is because of all those companies that went bust. What they did is they said someone has to pay for them. Everyone has electricity bills, and if we put them on the standing charge, then it's fairly shared. Now, of course, actually, if you put it on the unit rate, it's high users. There are some vulnerable high users as well. And it's done regionally, and Ofgem says that's because of the different cost to transport power to each area that they were trying to change it. Actually, the standing charge doesn't go up that much in October. My honest answer, because Ofgem says so and stuff happens. Stuff happens.
Asks
shouldn't happen,
this
but
morning,
it does.
If you put shed loads, in Bob's words, of credit on a prepaid meter now, what does that do in terms of the price? Does that buy your energy at the current levels? Is that one way to help yourself come the rising price cap? Possibly. Now, I say possibly because in the last time we had the price rise, we went into detail on this and the information changed 3 times. In fact, I called an energy summit about, I think it was June, with the big energy firms, and one of the things they agreed to do is to supply us with the proper information for this time round. My team, if I'm allowed to mention that, probably not, but my team are working on that data at the moment. Let me give you a broad brush, and then I will be publishing later the actual facts. Gas meter, no. Prepaid gas meter, it's all about the meter itself. Electricity meter, if you have a smart meter pre-topping up, won't work. But on other electricity meters, the time you top up is when you pay for the energy. So if you top up before the price cap goes up, you'll be topping up at this rate. Many have a limit of £250 that you can top up. Right. So you would be able to jemmy the system so you could buy energy to use in October at the September price. But it will be firm by firm. Scottish Power said no last time. I presume it'll be the same this time. But with other firms on non-smart electricity meters, yes, you may be able to do that. For those on direct debit, and I get a lot of this question, and you're not going to like my answer, I'm afraid, saying, could I give much higher meter readings than the amount I've actually used now so that I can sort of stock up in advance of October? Well, that would be fraud if you did that on purpose. Oh. So that's my answer. Right. Dan on Twitter. Currently, my smart meter is saying that I use approximately £120 on my gas and electric a month. during the summer
Yeah.
on a variable tariff.
Yeah.
If I move to a fixed,
Yeah.
the best option for me is £545 a month. Should I fix? I mean, this is a massive question for people.
Yeah.
Should they fix? The fixes at the moment look eye-wateringly high, but we also know prices are going to be eye-wateringly high and we will use more in the winter.
OK, I need to caveat my answer by saying I'm going to base my answer based on the current predictions from Cornwall Insight.
Yeah.
But they change every week, and these may not be right in 3-4 months' time. I do not have a crystal ball. So, the main... At the moment, it looks like if you contrast the price cap price today with the average price over the next year based on those predictions, that graphic does not help. Please get rid of it. Your average price cap today compared to the price cap average over the next year, you're going to pay 145% more than you do right now. So 2.5 times what you do right now averaged over the next year.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at a one-year fix, if it's no more than 2.5 times what you pay right now, and you want certainty, that may help. Of course, if energy prices are freezed, this could all be blown out of the water. So I'm going to pretend we don't know that that's a chance right now. However, what this question says is on my smart meter. I'm not interested in your smart meter reading, because your fix is based on what your direct debit is. So if you're on the price cap, it doesn't work if you're on a fix. Whatever your direct debit is currently, if you times that by 2.5,
right.
If that fix is lower, it may be worth fixing if you want certainty, but there is a lot of wiggle room in that number. Certainly, if you can get a fix at no more than double the current price cap, I'd be jumping on it. And as it goes up ahead of that, it's questionable depending on how much you want certainty. But it is just so difficult to answer.
Okay.
There are guides on the internet, I'll say that
So
carefully.
can I just clarify? So your smart meter is useful for you because it shows what you're using right now, but it does not relate to your direct debit because your direct debit is the same.
So this
month.
545 will be based on what you're currently paying on the direct debit, not on your smart meter reading.
Yes.
So the only way to compare it is you've got to compare like for like.
Yeah, OK. Thank you for your questions.